going? How is it going? All right, guys. Today I have another amazing video slash session slash teaching for you. And you already know if you've been here for any amount of time or if you just peruse my YouTube channel that we are talking all things dance, and specifically as the dance career coach, which is the person, myself, but also this global network that I've created. My aim with these videos specifically are to help you as first collegiate dancers and then other pre-professional dancers and even early career dancers. And you know what? I've had some dancers who don't fit in either of those categories, but they find the information and the knowledge that I share to be super helpful. So you're welcome here too. My goal is to create dancers who are visible, valuable, and longevity minded for their professional dance careers. You may be thinking, Trinity, why is this important? It is important because the art of dance is not only important to our world, but it has experienced a significant shift. And if you do not know, this shift has been happening for a few years now, but I personally became aware of it in the year 2020. And so I also started to realize that, hey, we definitely need a resurgence of regality, standards, beauty, and also being able to bridge a generational dance gap for the purpose of keeping the art going strong and helping it to just thrive in our communities and in our world at large. I also want you to know that if you've ever studied any dance greats, if you've ever studied any dancer who has gone on, had a career maybe before you were born, maybe they've had a career, you never realized it, or you're studying them in school, or you've heard your favorite teacher, professor, or your favorite choreographer or director mention them, I want you to know that those dancers had tenacity. I also want you to know that they were bold, they were slash are audacious, and I want you to know that they did not make history on accident, neither did they become world changers on accident, okay? And some of my favorites, whom I mention quite often here on this channel, being Arthur Mitchell, Alvin Ailey, and Judith Jamison, for an example, did not do these things quietly. How can I say that they did not, leave their dance legacy quietly? It's because not only does the world know about them and they were able to transcend just the dance, field, but they were just also super brilliant, and their dancing and the way they expressed their art, the way they contributed to their art was also very beautiful. And so while we bring it here to, hi Sam, while we bring it here to 2025, I want dancers to realize a couple things. First things first is that many people are not teaching the things that I learned as a high school dancer, okay? Being in a studio. I remember our dance director, she gave us the ins and the outs. She prepared us. Hi, guys, I'm doing absolutely amazing. How are you guys doing? She gave us the ins and outs of the dance industry. She taught us how to train with respect, but she also kind of set us on this path to where as we would matriculate throughout our training and our careers, we would be ready. Things would not catch us off guard. And so that's what I'm helping you do. If you want to become a professional dancer, if you are on that track, if you are thinking about it, these are some of the things I'm helping you to do to become more visible, valuable, longevity minded for your professional dance career, because you don't just have to be a dancer. Nope, that is not what we're building, okay? We're building very strong and impactful artists, okay? If you want to learn more about that, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and then you check out the links in my bio and in my description. You can learn more about me on my website as the Dance Career Coach, a little bit about my career and all of those things, okay? Okay, and don't forget to check out the Dance Career Resources. Top notch information, I'm telling you. Okay, let's get into it. Navigating the dance industry with maturity. Listen, unfortunately, not many know how to do this. Is it essential to have maturity? Is it essential to be a mature artist? Even if you're just finding your way, even if you are a recent graduate of a conservatory or some type of training program or college, you need to be mature. And in some of my previous videos, I talk about the necessity for maximizing your training right where you are. And I want you to know that that does not just include how you train and how you learn steps, but it's also about how you work your internal being as an artist from the inside out and how you learn to navigate in different ways. So, first things first, you need to reconcile that there is a standard in dance. I know that may sound funny, but you will be surprised at how many people, just kind of think, they just fly off with an idea or, a belief. And it's like, I'm going to do what I want and this shouldn't be this way. And we're in a day and age where everyone wants to challenge the standard of dance, the standard of professional dance. Everyone wants they want to challenge just any and everything. Everyone wants to start a movement to make things bigger than what they need to be. So the first thing is we have to reconcile that there's a standard when it comes to professional dance, okay? This standard is important because it keeps a baseline and it keeps it keeps the integrity of the craft. If there are no standards, then what are we doing? If no one has to keep the standards, and if every day something is changing, or if every day someone wants to say, this is what I think, or I think directors are mean, I think you shouldn't do this in ballet, I think X, Y, and Z. If this is what is happening, then we'll have no standards. If we have no standards, then dance as a whole, just kind of slips into oblivion. Theaters begin to become very, very, just places that people are not dwelling. And who wants that? I don't want that. I'm a lover of dance. And if you're here, you're a dancer, I'm pretty sure you feel the same way. So we have to reconcile that there is a standard. No, there is no space, time, era, epoch where we can say there's a standard but act like it doesn't exist, or say, there's a standard, but I do not want to follow it. But then at the same time, want to have a career in dance, but then at the same time, wanting your voice to be heard in dance, but then at the same time, wanting to make impact. You have to reconcile that there's a standard. There's a standard in the NFL. There's a standard in wrestling. There's a standard in hockey. There's a standard in modeling. This is just what it is. There's a standard in NCAA football. I love using that example so much. Okay, so we have to reconcile that. We're talking about navigating the dance industry with maturity. The second thing, this kind of more so goes toward if you are going to be in a company setting, but there are other places that you can use this. Honoring hierarchy. You have to make sure you're honoring hierarchy, okay? It's not to say that somebody is better than you or that you're beneath anyone else, but hierarchy gives us a chance to learn at a distance. Hierarchy gives us a chance to watch others so that we don't have to repeat things, or so that we can get questions answered. Hierarchy also gives us a chance and an opportunity to maybe become a mentee to someone, and also to learn using your eyes and your ears. Your eyes and your ears are most important while you are training. You may think that it's like, oh, that doesn't really matter. I don't really have to pay attention. I just need to get out there. I need to hit the Marley and hit the step. This is true. Hit the step all day, but also your eyes and ears are very important, and it makes you an intelligent dancer through and through. It never fails. The third thing is that you want to give yourself grace. I say this so much. Dance is hard. It is hard. It can be taxing on your body. It can be taxing on your mind. It can be taxing on your emotional output, if you will. And so you have to give yourself grace. I've said this before in my previous videos. Not every day will look the same. Not every day will feel the same. But if you make up in your mind that, hey, I am going to be present, that's so good. If you are present If you are present, this allows you to show up no matter what space your tank is on, right? So be present. Be present. This is a part of giving yourself grace. You don't help yourself and you don't help your coworkers. You don't help your fellow dancers when you're beating up on yourself or where you're just kind of like allowing yourself to be defeated in a day. And I get it. We're all human. But I'm giving you some timeless gems. I'm telling you, I'm dropping them gems right now, how to navigate the dance industry with maturity. And this one is my favorite. Listen, this is a non-negotiable. Hold on. This is a non-negotiable. I want you guys to lean in right here. Okay. As we're talking about navigating the dance industry with maturity, this point right here is non-negotiable. I do not care. I have watched this point that I'm about to express to you just sort of be ignored, and I've watched it blacklist dancers. I've watched it, cause dancers to kind of make themselves not stand out in the greatest of light. I've watched this cause dancers to subsequently lose their passion or their interest because they just kind of feel like whatever, and they lose respect for the work. I've watched this also cause dancers to pull back on their, how do you say it, on the progress that they've been making or could have been making. Okay, here it is. Be professional. This may sound like a no-brainer, but you would be surprised at how many dancers feel like they are owed the top-notch spot, top-notch treatment, and they are not professional. I did not say be a professional. I said to be professional. Largely in part, navigating the dance industry with maturity entails you being professional. And see, for me, that's one of my favorite timeless dance jams. I'm talking about from the way you dress, the way you groom yourself. For the women, the way your hair is presented, the way you go on tour, the way you interact with artists, directors, fellow dancers, co-workers. You have to be professional. The way you handle a crappy day, the way you speak up or speak to someone that is higher up than you about things that you have concerns about. Being professional is literally, that is the foundation. A lot of dancers get really excited about starting their professional dance careers, and all they're thinking is dance, 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 step, step, step. That's all they're thinking is step. Great, because we need step. I say this often because you want to be a professional dancer, but I am begging you, sprucing up your professionalism. It is worth it. It will single-handedly cause you to stand out. It will single-handedly cause you to shine from a group that is filled with talented dancers, okay? So guys, as always, I absolutely love being in this space with you. And until next time, like, comment, share, subscribe, and happy dancing.